Hello everybody, Travis from Tpull's Corner here, saying welcome. We're playing with the pre-made deck Lifeline. This is the final match of the week at the end of a 10-week series where we spent 1 week apiece playing with each pre-made deck. And I have a play 1 with Cleric class, so I will not play the tap lands. We'll have enough chance to play the tap lands later. We're up against probably mono red goblins, so we'll see how we do against a swarm deck. We have not had good luck with this deck this week. If you want to know the drawbacks to this deck, we put them on display. One night after another. When the 10 Premades first came out, this was one of the stars. It seemed like everybody and their dog was using this one. And I was losing to it a lot. And when I play it, yeah, things go against me quite a bit. You know, usually mono red does not take this long. Do they have full control on? What? They don't have anything they can do they? We're not frozen. Why are you delaying things, Ghost Dad? This is like the longest mono red player has ever taken with me. Usually mono red has more creatures come out faster. These are not abnormal. There we go, there's a Fireblade Charger. We're gonna risk it. Spend all 4 mana to pump up the Cleric class so that we can take benefit of all of our other cards. We'll see what they have in their deck. I don't think they can kill us in 1 turn. So we should be able to stand this turn. No attacks. Alright, let's bring down Lurking Roper. Pass the turn. No attacks. We just want to make sure that they can't swarm us. And this is one of the disadvantages of the mono red goblin decks is when you have a bunch of 1/1s, there is a limit on how far those can go if you get into any kind of mid-game range. 3 points to me, to my face. We don't care about that because we have the life gain deck. Well, sorry, Lifeline deck, right? We must be specific. 3 more points. Thank you. Thank you for not hitting my creatures because you could have killed the Lurking Roper. And, come on. Now we get to play some cards. And they just quit. Look at that, we won. And that's why I feel kind of sorry in the current meta for mono red goblin decks. But that went by too quickly, so we're going to actually do one more battle. Maybe we can be 50%. We won the first match. We won our last match just now. My mouse is acting a little wonky. Ooh, we get to go first. When's the last time that happened? We may get to go first if Colt 45 ever gets the speed going. One of the drawbacks to me playing this game is my opponent never seems to move fast enough to suit me. I'm always ready and raring to go. And then I have to sit and wait for them to decide that they're actually going to play the game. I lost. We have a game. We have a turn 1. Cleric class comes out. This is ideal for the deck as long as they don't have something to remove it right away. Ooh, a second one. Okay. All they did was play a land, so we should have time for this. Story Seeker, huh? No, let's do Core Celebrant first. Do they have a counterspell that they're willing to use? Even a Jari Disruption? Oh, it's going to be one of those control players. Okay, reject. Lurking Roper comes down now. I would like a 4th land at this point. They're outpacing us on the land, which is never a good sign when you're up against a control deck. Didn't get my land. Fine. Okay, so we're just going to attack first. And then we'll use Devouring Tendrils. Get my life back. Untap Lurking Roper. His turn. These have mostly been, with the exception of tonight because we're doing 2 rounds, these have mostly been for these past 10 weeks. It's been a big change for us because usually what I do is I play 3, 4, 5 matches on a particular deck that I put together, and those can take 45 minutes to an hour long videos. And these are, 5, 10, 15 minutes. And so I'm looking for comments and feedback on still no land. That usually means the game wants me to lose, but we'll just keep attacking. Keep the pressure up. Just gonna let it through. It's fine. Let's draw a card and see if we can find a land for a change. Still no land, but we did manage to untap the Lurking Roper again. Immortal Phoenix. Now he's got a permanent blocker, right? Look at that. No attacks. If he wants to attack me, he can. Ouch. I need a 5th land so I can use Pillar Drop Rescuer now. He's got 4 mana and a possible counterspell. So, let's start with Story Seeker. Then my other Lurking Roper. See if that gets counterspelled or not. That gets counterspelled. He'll probably feel safe attacking me with both. And for this to work the best, I actually need 1 more land. Yeah. Down to 5. There's the land. Is this enough to make it all work? Does he have another counterspell? I was counting on being able to... He's got another saw it coming. Yep, 2 counterspells. You can't really do much against that. Okay, that gained me 7 life, puts me back up to 18. Gives me 2 turns. Unfortunately, my other cleric class is still level 1. And he just got yet another creature out. Now I need anything except a land. And he doesn't even need to block with the Windstorm Drake. Never mind. He had counterspells and removal, exactly everything that he needed. And the flyers. And we are done! We are finished! And that means we only won 2 matches out of 6 with this. Alright, next we will do our post-mortem of the deck. Alright, that is our example for the week of the pre-made deck Lifeline. How would we change this? You know, it's funny, we didn't really get to have meat in a tavern that entire time. What would I get rid of? I think, let's see, we've got 21 creatures. I would probably go with fewer creatures, actually. Where is Accomplished Alchemist? I think could be a fun card, but although it can be a good blocker from time to time, the adding X of any color, I never really had a good chance to use. It's not the best placed card for this deck. I think you could design a different deck that much better uses Accomplished Alchemist. So I think that one has to go away. The Lurking Roper, I'm going to get rid of at least 1 Lurking Roper. And let's see, the Celestial Unicorns can stay, Core Celebrants can stay, Story Seekers can stay, Prosperous Innkeeper, and Trailusara can stay. Okay, so we've gotten rid of 2 creatures. What are we going to replace them with? We're going to replace them with removal. That's all there is to it. When you look at what we've got, we've got 2 fortifying draughts that we can use as instants, so we usually use those as combat tricks to get rid of a couple of creatures. We've got 3 devouring tendrils, which can be problematic. We've got 1 inscription of abundance, which as long as we have a good creature down, usually tends to be worthwhile. And then we have 2 minimus containment. And that is not enough. It just isn't. So what I might do is like one board wipe, right? Do a Doomscar, something like that, and 1 more targeted removal, which would probably be, let's see, let's go to the white cards real quick. Let me change this. We'll stick with just white. And not destroy, we want to do destroy. I don't know what destroy is. There we go. Fierce Retribution from Innistrad. Now this is maybe cheating because Innistrad wasn't part of the formula before when you got the 4 pre-made decks, or the 4 expansions that made up the pre-made decks. But you know, we could use Fateful Absence too. Either one, you know, destroy target or Planeswalker, and that's the main thing that I would start with. As always, you know, we could fix the lands. You only have 1 pathway, so we can get rid of 3 of the forests and plains and put in 3 pathways. And probably I'd get rid of another plane and get in one of the rune cards, just in case we come up against some of the man lands, which we didn't do this time around that much, which is kind of weird. But hang on, let's get rid of the white. There we go, Field of Ruin, where you destroy target non-basic land. I always tend to include at least 1 of those, if not 2, in my decks these days. What else would I do? I'm trying. There's a lot of different places you can go to get a look at deck tech to upgrade this particular deck, but it's almost unrecognizable sometimes by the time they're done with it. Like they've gotten rid of half a dozen creatures and they've put in half a dozen others and got 4 copies of them. Usually, what you're looking to do is, if you can get more copies, maybe consider putting in another Righteous Valkyrie, that kind of thing. But just trying to minimize it, just trying to stay with the concept of itself, and choose. You know, if I did, I think there's a different place for Lurking Roper too. I don't know that he's the best choice for this deck. He's kind of fun to play with. I like the art. I like the horror part of him. But again, he doesn't seem the best. So if pressed to it, I probably would get rid of both copies of that, just because of the untap. What do you call it? The untapped disadvantage. Even though he is nice to get 4 or 5 creature down for just 3 mana. Overall, the deck works pretty well with him. But okay, so if we do go ahead and get rid of both of the Lurking Ropers, and we get rid of the Accomplished Alchemist, we get the 1 board wipe, we get the 1 destroy attacking creature in there. Then you have room for something like a 2nd Valkyrie Harbinger or another Righteous Valkyrie. And I think that's part of where we're missing a little bit in the current meta, is we've got 1 Righteous Valkyrie, we've got a couple of Pillar Drop Rescuers, right? 1 Icing Death and Valkyrie. That's only 5 flyers, really. And I don't think that's enough anymore under the current environment. We really do need to have more flyers if you're going to have not just a mono green deck, but you're going to have any one of the other colors with creatures in it. You probably need 6 or 7 flyers. So having a second chance at Valkyrie to really benefit from the Angel or Cleric life gain on that, I think, is a good deal. And that's the minimal changes that I would do, just so it's still recognizable as the Lifeline deck. I think too much more that we would do and you wouldn't recognize it anymore. I've seen some other YouTube deck techs online where it seems like they only kept 6 cards in the entire chunk, and then why bother calling it that anymore? We just want to do minimal changes and still keep it close to the pre-mades that they made and still recognizable. Alright, that's it for the series. If you haven't made a comment before, make a comment here at the end. We're at the end of the Lifeline week. We're at the end of the whole series, the 10-week series of Travis Plays the Premades. We have played every single one of the pre-made decks. We have given you advice on what to, just a card or 2 to upgrade it at the end of each series, so that you can maybe have even more fun, more success with it. Let me know what you thought of the series. Let me know if you like these shorter chunk videos, or I'm probably going to go back to the longer form videos for the immediate future. And let me know how you think I'm doing. In the meantime, remember to like and subscribe and come back, because we're going to have another new deck for you. There's always another new deck around the corner at Tpull's Corner. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.